So Konami have released new legends, and people are always asking for Konami to add Zidane into the game. I don't think that's going to happen, but this guy might be the closest thing to Zidane. And if we take a look at the build, I'll show you why. So if we level him up and go on eFootball Hub, you can see that leveled up. And this is the build I recommend. He looks pretty insane. I think those are some of the best dribbling stats in the game. I think Baggio's stats around Baggio level of dribbling. And he's still got the 90 finishing that Baggio would have, more passing, and he's got the speed and kicking power too, and 96 balance. So this guy is going to be insane. So he doesn't have quite the passing as Zidane might have, but you could obviously change the build to get that. You could take off some passing and do that. Now I wouldn't recommend doing that, but it is a possibility. This is the build I'd recommend. If you wanted any other versions, the only thing I can see you doing is taking some points off like the dribbling stats and putting them into passing or elsewhere. And you can get 90 low pass by doing that if you take off, I think it was one dribbling, the one in aerial, and get that. So that's not a bad build either. And to be honest, that's pretty good. The reason you don't want to go lower than this on the dribbling is because you've got the stats at 95. And I feel like 95 is a threshold where players perform better. So if we look at his stats, Platini is insane. And if we look at his skills, he's pretty insane too. So usually it's pretty obvious what skills I recommend on a player. But this guy, I kind of had to think about it for a while. So the first skill I would say, which is obvious to me, is flip-flop. I think with a very high weak foot and the already has got double touch and soul control, flip-flop is a very obvious choice. But after that, it kind of gets a bit, I don't know what to do. He doesn't have weighted pass though, so probably put weighted pass on him. Long range shooting could be a shout as well. It would be good to have a Marseille turn or a put behind and turn. You don't really need both. Both won't hurt. We don't really know both. Need both, sorry. And then for the last skill, you can go for fighting spirit. Just kind of make him more generally well-rounded, more reliable, or you could go chip shot control to help with the chip through ball, because if you don't know, chip shot control adds kind of like a scoop pass animation for chip shots. So Platini might be useful for that. Now his lofted passes aren't the highest, so I don't know about that entirely, if it's worth it. But yeah, he does look insane. We're not gonna get Zidane. I think Zidane, he's on the cover of FIFA. He's not coming to eFootball. So this is your next best thing if you're wanting Zidane. So he does look insane though, better than I thought he did. Next player is Dennis Bergkamp, and this is a guy that you never see used in eFootball, and it's weird because he's a well-respected player. People like Bergkamp in real life, so it is a surprise you don't see him in here. He's a deep line forward, which is a playstyle I very much like. And if we take a look at his stats leveled up, I don't think he looks too impressive. He doesn't look terrible, but I think there's obviously, actually I still have a little bit of points left. And we take the boost off. I think, what was I supposed to do with that? I can't actually remember. I think it was just extra points. Anyway, regardless, it's irrelevant. It's just, I don't know, I just don't see what this guy is gonna be amazing at compared to other players, and it's just because of the fact he doesn't have good passing. If he had good passing, it'd be good. And you can see I put 14 points into dexterity, so you don't have to do that obviously. But I'm looking at his low balance, and I'm worried about the card. So that's why I got the balance up to 85. Now alternatively though, you could go lower on the balance. Let's go to there. Keep the 80 acceleration. Oh, never mind. Actually, acceleration has a booster in it, so keep the acceleration to 8 there, and then you can make the card more well-rounded. You can get the passing up to a respectable level, and you can get 95 finishing. And 95 finishing, similar to what I was saying with dribbling for Platini, 95 is definitely kind of a new tier. If you have a card, either get them to 90 finishing or 95. There's no point really being in between, in my eyes. So yeah, the 95 finishing build with Bergkamp looks pretty decent. I don't think this guy is an amazing card though. You might have fun with him if you like him in real life, but I feel like that 98 ball control isn't going to feel like it should. He's not going to have that kind of graceful, as much of a graceful first touch as he probably should. But if we go back to the game and take a look at his skills, he kind of does he does have good skills, except for he doesn't look like at first because you just see sombrero at the top and you don't see double touch. But if you give him double touch, he has got good skills, so give him double touch. And then similar, I would give him flip flop as well, just give him that level 3 double touch. He won't be as effective with it just because he's got only high weak foot instead of very high, but it's definitely still worth putting on him. And then the skills outside of that, you're going to want to put, again, a Marseille turn or a cut behind and turn, a heel trick. You could put weighted pass. I don't think he has the pass stats though to be worrying about it, although he's a deep line forward, so you would be wanting to pass with him. You could put fighting spirit on him. Again, I think that last skill is a bit like you're kind of looking for something to put on him and you don't know exactly. I'm just trying to give ideas. I think gamesmanship could be good on him as well because he will be a dribbler, and if he's a deep line forward, you're going to be spending a lot of time with him on the ball, so you know you probably will win fouls, so probably gamesmanship. But yeah, this guy doesn't scream out to me that he's an amazing card, so I wouldn't worry about him too much. Although there are obviously some of you that will want to level him up and use him. So that's the build and the skills I recommend. Now, if we look at the next player, it is Mr. Romario, and this guy, obviously one of the best players in the game. Unfortunately, we still don't have a goal poacher version. I was kind of expecting one. Maybe not this. I knew this one was coming out soon. I didn't know when. So it still isn't the goal poacher. We probably will get it eventually. But yeah, he looks insane. Obviously, here's a look at the skills real quick, but we'll go to the build first. And here it is. Here's one of them. There's a few ideas I have because it's just you can go a lot of directions with Romario, and that's the beauty of his card. So this is the first one. You can see 95 finishing. We got all the dribbling to 90 and kick and power to 90 and balance and the rest as high as possible. So if I try justify this build to you, I feel like Romario is one of them players where if his dribbling stats are low, he will still dribble very well, player ID. So I did level his dribbling high to 90, but I didn't go to like 95 or anything. I don't think it's necessary. The rest of the build, obviously I said it a moment ago, either pick 90 or 95 finishing. Then for the lower body strength, we're trying to get the kick and power to 90. And then the balance on Romario is his most important attribute, so just get that as high as possible. Now, if you want to do another alternative build with just 90 finishing, which is what I use on my Romario at the moment, you can, and then go to dribbling up. The thing is, I am the biggest fan of Romario in this game, on my version anyway. I don't know why. I think it's the Fox in the Box playstyle. It's not the greatest. I don't want a Fox in the Box. Like, if I didn't have Romario, I wouldn't even consider using it. Would be completely dead playstyle to me. So yeah, I think that's why I don't like him. But maybe it's the finishing on 90. I don't know. I think is there a free reset at the moment? Let me check. I think I did see something on Twitter about free reset. There is a free reset. Okay, so we're gonna have to experiment with some builds. But you can see here this Romario in my build. No wonder I don't like it. I've just went back on my own advice saying never use 90 or 95 or in between 90 and 95 finishing. You can see his dribbling there. Those dribbling stats are good but not insane. He is one of the better dribblers in the game. But with the free reset, I'm gonna have to be re-leveling this guy. But if we compare this Romario to the new one, you can see on this build here, the dribbling is a noticeable upgrade, and the pace and acceleration are basically the same. Although this new one has a lot more balance, and I did say balance is probably the most important attribute on Romario. Now the offensive awareness is a lot higher on my one. That's how they usually do it. These cards, they usually trade one for the other, like one stat for the other. I do think I'd rather the balance and the offensive awareness, because even my extremely high offensive awareness Fox in the Box still don't make good runs, so it's a problem with the playstyle if more than anything. If we have a look at the other build and compare it though, where I did less dribbling and into finishing, and compare it again, you can see actually that the dribbling stats are basically the same, although my old one has better ball control. I mean, it's not too much different, but you do get +3 on the finishing, +11 on the curl. And then the speed and balance physical situation hasn't changed. So I would recommend the new one. Would I recommend upgrading? Probably not value for money. If you want to ever upgrade your Romario, just wait until they do a goal poacher one. If they do, they might not do one. But you should probably just wait for that. So now we're going to take a look at the skills on the new Romario and see what I recommend. Now the thing about Romario is, on my version, there's definitely skills that are obvious, but I think this new Romario has a different kind of set of skills off the start. So if we take a look, you can see he already has double touch and soul control, and then you're gonna have to put flip flap on him to get that level 3. It's the most obvious thing. I've recommended it for all of them, and I recommend it for this guy. So he does have first time shot and acrobatic finishing, so you don't have to worry there, alongside long range shooting. So you're gonna want to put one touch pass and true passing. Put true passing on first, one touch pass on after. So we've got flip flap, one touch pass, and true passing. Interestingly, this one has aerial superiority, which is surprising because I've said it on stream loads of times. Romario wins a lot of headers. I've always said I might want to put aerial superiority on him, so this one has aerial superiority, and from the start. So that's interesting. Next skills after that, I think I don't know. I think we're at the point where you're kind of just putting random skills on. If we take a look at Buy Romario, and it'll help me kind of explain why I'm going to recommend what I recommend. The next Romario is the same kind of as my one, except instead of it was soul control he has, I think, but you need to put flip flap on him. So like you can see, I put one touch pass and true passing on him. So I think like I'm saying, at this point you're just putting random skills on him. Like not random, but there's nothing obvious. So I'd be putting fighting spirit on the new one, and just kind of to make them more consistent and well-rounded. I'm not as big of a fan or an advocate of fighting spirit as I used to be. I used to always recommend it on players back in the day. Nowadays it's kind of situations like this where that last skill you're not sure of. And then obviously you can also put the cup behind turn, which I put on, or a Marseille turn instead. So I think you choose cup behind turn or Marseille turn. I kind of always suggest them together and say whichever one you prefer to use. So yeah, I gave you some good skills there. They're kind of, you just have to pick based on what skills you have or what playstyle you use. So is the pack a good value for money pack? I think it's a very good value for money pack. Bergkamp, wouldn't worry about him. Don't think you're going to use him. But Platini and Romario, two amazing players. Platini looks particularly impressive, honestly. I think I would like him, but I'm not trying to spend all my money on this this game anymore. But Platini does look amazing, and I've already got Romario. If I didn't already have a Romario, I'd probably be spinning this just to get Platini, but I don't need these guys. So yeah, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching, and we got the free reset back, so we'll be doing a lot of builds on stream. Now they did release a Player of the Week Encore Stars and a Spain and Argentina pack. So I actually done a video on GP Yamal and why I think he's the best GP card in the game. So we've got this new one here, who's a Roman flank. So it might be different. This one might not be as good, but I'll probably get a video up on this one too. But thanks for watching. Bye.